Let's talk about Mark Meadows, the former chief of staff for Donald Trump. He has now flipped on Donald Trump and has been granted immunity. This is absolutely stunning and a disastrous revelation for the failed former president. Why? For a while now, many of us and legal experts had been noticing, why is Mark Meadows' name missing from so many of these indictments? Meadows was right there. He knew what was going on. He was arguably involved. By all reasonable assessments, he was involved. He was one of the closest people to Trump when all of these things were going on, documents and attempts to overturn the election, the Georgia fiasco. Mark Meadows was there for all of it. He is very conspicuously missing from some of these indictments. What is it that is going on? And he has now flipped. And this could not be worse news for Donald Trump. ABC News reports ex-chief of staff Mark Meadows granted immunity, tells special counsel he warned Trump about the 2020 claims. He has spoken to special counsel Jack Smith's team at least 3 times this year, including once before a federal grand jury, which came after Smith granted Meadows immunity to testify under oath, according to sources familiar with the matter. The sources say Meadows informed Smith's team that he repeatedly told Trump in the weeks after the 2020 election the allegations of fraud were baseless. That's a critical word. According to the sources, Meadows also told the federal investigators Trump was being, quote, dishonest with the public when he said he won the election just hours after polls closed, but before final results were in. A source quoted Meadows as saying, obviously, we didn't win. Obviously, we didn't win. This is potentially very bad, very, very bad for Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is not taking this news well, taking to Truth Social and posting, quote, I don't think Mark Meadows would lie about the rigged and stolen 2020 presidential election, merely for getting immunity against prosecution by deranged prosecutor Jack Smith. But when you really think about it, after being hounded like a dog for 3 years, told you'll be going to jail for the rest of your life, your money and your family will be forever gone, and we're not at all interested in exposing those that did the rigging. If you say bad things about that terrible monster, Donald J. Trump, we won't put you in prison. You can keep your family and your wealth, and perhaps if you can make up some really horrible stuff, out him, we may very well erect a statue of you in the middle of our decaying and now very violent capital, Washington, D.C. Some people would make that deal, but they are weaklings and cowards, and so bad for the future of our failing nation. I don't think that Mark Meadows is one of them, but who really knows? Make America great again. This is Trump saying, if Meadows does this, if Meadows flips, if Meadows informs with what Trump claims are lies, but I doubt would be lies after Mark Meadows has read the Riot Act and put under oath, doesn't seem to me he's just going to make stuff up, then he would be one of those weaklings and cowards that Donald Trump is referring to. Trump also posting to Truth Central, quote, Mark Meadows never told me that allegations of significant fraud about the rigged election were baseless. He certainly didn't say that in his book. So a couple of different things here. This is genuinely bad news for Donald Trump. Mark Meadows is a name that for a while now has been discussed as if anyone has the goods, it would be Mark Meadows. And his name being conspicuously missing from some of the indictments raises questions as to whether he has been granted immunity and has flipped or is negotiating that possibility. We now know that, at least with regard to one case, that is indeed what is going on. This also brings us to the potential circus fiasco that will be Trump's criminal trials. I believe the first one starts March 3rd or March 4th, something along those lines, with the possibility that some of Trump's closest associates and former aides, and even what Trump considers friends, although, we still aren't really sure if Trump has friends, these trials have the potential to be absolutely explosive, historic, truly historic events, which I plan to cover to the extent that they are televised, and we will see which of them are televised. So Mark Meadows flipping on Trump granted immunity. Very bad news for Trump. Potentially good news for Mark Meadows if his goal is, of course, to stay out of prison. We will talk more about it. We're going to take a quick break. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube after the break. Yes, Michael Cohen testifying. And it is wild, wild stuff. As many of you know, I spend a lot of time working on the show, doing research, preparing for interviews, filming the show. And when I need just a quick and easy snack during a break, I love whipping up instant ramen noodles, low maintenance. But ramen noodles have never been known to be the healthiest thing in the kitchen. Our sponsor, Immi, has changed that. Every pack of Immi ramen noodles has only 6 grams of net carbs, up to 21 grams of protein. That's 3 times more than traditional brands, helps you feel fuller longer, and 18 grams of fiber, which is great for gut health and digestion. The best part is it tastes better than any other instant ramen you've ever had. 6 delicious flavors. These are all vegan. Black garlic chicken, it's vegan. Spicy red miso, spicy beef, vegan. Pork tonkatsu, vegan. Immi is a fun and tasty instant ramen experience like you're used to, with more to offer nutritionally and without all the carbs. Having Immi around will keep you from going for the junk food. Go to immieats.com/Pacman5. Use the code Pacman5 for $5 off. The link is down below.